Welcome to Lotus Lane Daily. I'm glad you're here. Today's wisdom is for anyone going through something hard. You know that feeling when you walk out of the hospital room into a hallway with bad lighting and you stand there for a second because you do not know what your body is supposed to do next? You have just spent hours doing things you never imagined doing for the person who once did all of them for you. You are tired in a way that sleep does not touch, and underneath the tiredness, there is something you would never say out loud, a small, terrible wish for it to be over, followed immediately by a wave of guilt, so heavy it takes your breath. If you are caring for a parent who is dying, and you found this page in the middle of the night, please hear this before anything else. You are not failing. The fact that this is breaking you a little is not weakness. It is what love costs when it is asked to do the hardest thing there is. The feelings nobody warns you about. Everyone tells you caregiving will be sad. Almost no one tells you it will be so many other things at once. You will feel love and resentment in the same hour. You will feel tenderness while changing a dressing and fury at a sibling who is not helping, and grief and boredom and a strange numbness, and then guilt for the numbness. You may catch yourself wishing the waiting would end, and then hate yourself for it. None of that makes you a bad child. The wish for it to be over is not a wish for your parent to die. It is a wish for the suffering to stop, theirs and yours. Those are different things, and your exhausted mind blurs them together at 3 a.m. Anticipatory grief is real. You are already mourning someone who is still here, which means you are carrying the weight of the loss before the loss has even arrived. That is one of the heaviest things a human being can be asked to hold. Why this is so hard in a way you did not expect. Part of what makes this so disorienting is the reversal. The person who was the source of safety, the one you ran to, is now the one who needs to be kept safe. Some part of you has always believed, without ever saying it, that as long as your parent was alive, there was someone standing between you and the front of the line. Watching them grow frail is also watching that belief dissolve. You are grieving your parent, and quietly grieving your own protected place in the world at the same time. There is a line from an old philosophical text that does not soften this, but does sit honestly beside it. Life and death are the two faces of the same coin. To understand life, we must understand death. To conquer death, we must live fully. Death is not a failure of medicine or a failure of yours. It is the other half of being alive. That does not make it easy, but it can loosen the grip of the idea that if you just tried harder, did more, found the right doctor, you could prevent the unpreventable. You cannot. Releasing that impossible job is not giving up. It is the beginning of being able to actually be present, what actually helps. Shift the goal from curing to comforting. There comes a point where the most loving thing is no longer fighting for more time, but protecting the quality of the time that is left. This is where palliative and hospice care matter, and they are not the same as abandonment. Good hospice care exists to make a person comfortable, dignified, and as free of pain as possible. Ask the medical team directly and early what comfort-focused care would look like. Choosing it is not choosing to lose. It is choosing your parents' peace over your own fear of letting go. Accept help, specifically. When people say, "Let me know if you need anything," they mean it, but the open offer is useless to an exhausted brain. Give them a job. Can you bring dinner Thursday? Can you sit with Dad for 2 hours Saturday so I can sleep? Specific asks get said yes to. Caregiving alone, with no relief, is not noble. It is a setup for collapse, and a collapsed caregiver cannot care for anyone. Protect a few real conversations. Amid the logistics of medication and appointments, the things that will matter most to you afterward are the human moments. Tell your parent what they meant to you while they can still hear it. Say the thank you. Say the apology if there is one. Say the I love you plainly. Ask them the questions you will wish you had asked. You do not need a perfect deathbed scene. You need a few honest exchanges, and those can happen over a cup of tea on an ordinary afternoon. Take care of your own body, even badly. You will not do this well. Aim for not zero. Eat something. Step outside for 10 minutes of daylight. Sleep when someone relieves you instead of using that time for chores. Your grief and your exhaustion are landing in the same body, and that body has limits. Treating it gently is not selfish. It is what allows you to keep showing up. Forgive yourself in advance. You will lose your patience, you will snap, then feel awful. You will miss a moment because you stepped out for coffee. None of this will be the thing your parent remembers, and none of it erases the months of showing up. There is a thought worth keeping close. A wise person is not one who never makes mistakes, but one who learns from every mistake and keeps growing. You are doing something most people are too frightened to do well. Hold yourself to the standard of a loving human, not a flawless one, about the anger and the old wounds. If your relationship with this parent was complicated, caregiving is even harder. You may be tending to someone who hurt you. You may feel cheated of the chance for things to be made right. It is okay to care for someone and still be angry with them. It is okay if there is no movie-perfect reconciliation. You are allowed to give care out of decency and your own values, not because everything was forgiven. Do what lets you live with yourself afterward. That is enough. That is, in fact, a great deal. When it is over, and a word for now. After they are gone, the exhaustion does not vanish. It changes shape. You may feel relief and then guilt about the relief. Please remember that relief is not the same as gladness. It is your body and mind finally releasing a burden they carried for a long time. It says nothing about how much you loved them. For now, tonight, you do not have to do this perfectly. You only have to do the next small thing, the next dose, the next few hours, the next quiet moment of sitting beside them. There is an old reassurance worth holding. Those who have died are not gone. They live on in our hearts, in our memories, and in the causes they made during their lifetime. The love does not end when the breathing does. It changes form and it stays. You are doing one of the bravest things a person can do. Be as kind to yourself as you are being to them. You have earned that, and they would want it for you. That's the wisdom for today. If something here landed for you, share it with one person who might need to hear it too. Take it slow. I'll see you tomorrow on Lotus Lane Daily.